Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. I know I don't normally drop videos this late, but I dropped a video earlier today and I talked about the transfer portal, kind of prepared you guys. It's going to be chaotic. We'll see what happens. One of the things I mentioned in that video earlier today was there's going to be conversations. One of the things that I like that Josh Heupel does is he sits down with every player on his football team after spring camp and he has open and honest conversations. And it could be, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself? Here's the reality. Here's where you're at on the depth chart. Maybe Josh Heupel tells some of these kids, you're probably better off to go elsewhere. Maybe the kids say, man, I just don't see myself getting an opportunity at the University of Tennessee. I would like to, check my options in the transfer portal. If you missed that video, go back and give it a watch. But we have our first post-spring casualty, Elijah Herring, Tennessee linebacker, put it out on Twitter just a moment ago. I'd like to thank Coach Heupel and the University of Tennessee for the opportunity to play in my home state. I appreciate all the support from the entire staff, my teammates, and fans. I have decided to enter the transfer portal and pursue other college opportunities. Love the Vols. Now, what are your first thoughts when you read this from Elijah Herring? He's a name, in that video that I made earlier today. Some of you guys kind of mentioned, is Elijah Herring a guy that may possibly enter the portal? He's a guy that got a lot of talk, right? He kind of got thrown to the fire after the injury to Keenan Peely this past season in 2023. And one of the things, if you watch the game, everybody was talking about speed. He doesn't have SEC speed. He's not fast enough. He's too slow. Coach Jay knows a little something about linebacker play, played linebacker in his career, also coaches linebackers, and he kept talking about false steps. Elijah Herring has always taken that false step. He's taken one step in the wrong direction, and it makes him look way slower than he is. But we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the impact of Elijah Herring entering the portal. We're going to talk about Tennessee as a whole. He's not going to be the last. There are going to be other players that enter the transfer portal. But as always, do me a favor, guys, smash the thumbs up just below the video. You know the deal. It's quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be any of that. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tomorrow night. We're going to play some NCAA football. That's what we do every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Jamal Wallace, JUCO defensive lineman, committed to Tennessee. He's already got his apartment in Knoxville, going to be moving into town in May. He's going to join the team this summer. He was in town for the Orange and White game. He's going to be joining us on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about his visit during the spring game. We'll talk some Tennessee football. We'll have a good time, man. Jamal's always a blast to get him on the show. But let's jump into it. Let's talk about transfer portal. We'll go take a look at this article. This is from VolQuest. It's a free article. It's not behind a paywall, so you guys can go check it out. Tennessee linebacker Elijah Herring announces plans to enter the transfer portal. You can see here on the screen, it says Elijah Herring was the first commitment in the 2022 recruiting class for Josh Heupel and staff after starting 11 games last season. For the Vols, following the injury to veteran Keenan Peely, Herring has now announced his intentions to enter the transfer portal and pursue options elsewhere. That's the tweet we just read. But, man, we've talked about this to death. As we enter transfer portal season post-spring, it's a new era, man. Josh Pate's been teasing it. He's been saying it's going to be complete chaos. Some agree, some disagree. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be chaos? A guy that started 11 games for Tennessee last season, but also on the flip side of that, you're being recruited over. The linebacker room is pretty stacked full of talent. Some of the people that I saw when this got brought up, would Elijah Herring be a guy that possibly entered the portal, was, man, his brother Caleb just got on campus, just arrived at Tennessee, just starting to get his feet wet at the University of Tennessee. Would he really leave when Caleb's going into his sophomore season, Elijah going into his junior season? But he's made it official. He is going to be entering the transfer portal. Says in 2022, Herring played in 13 games as a reserve, serving primarily as a special teams contributor. Total 11 tackles, 2 sacks during the season. Saw some time working in Tennessee's third down package, where he contributed the most. Says in 2023, after Peely went down with an injury in the season opener against Virginia, Herring stepped into the starting role at middle linebacker, finished with a team-leading 80 tackles, including 4 tackles for loss. So your leader in tackles is now entering the transfer portal. Goes on to say Tennessee remains in a good spot at linebacker position despite the loss of Herring. With Peely returning for another season, Caleb Perry remaining on the roster, that's another one to watch. Caleb Perry is one that got brought up last night during the live stream, kind of talking about the orange and white game. I think Coach Jay brought up Caleb Perry, says, does he possibly enter the portal? And then you go on to talk about Jeremiah T-Lander, Arian Carter, Edwin Spillman, Jordan Burns. This team has a lot of linebacker. They got a lot of depth at the linebacker position, a lot of athletes, man, a lot of guys that will make plays. So I'm not really surprised here that Elijah Herring is entering the portal. What about you guys? Jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Are you surprised that Elijah Herring is going to be entering the transfer portal? Now I want to go pull up the depth chart, take a look at it. I think we're going to be just fine at the linebacker position. We got the defense pulled up here. Keenan Peely, Arian Carter, those are going to be your ones. We know that this Tim Banks defense likes to go too deep at the linebacker position. Will that change with Coach Inge being added? Will he kind of have some input there? Does he want to rotate too deep? Is that more of a Tim Banks thing? We'll see how that plays out as we roll into 2024. But you got Keenan Peely, you got Arian Carter. Jeremiah T-Lander had a great spring. He had a good spring game as well. The orange and white game played well. Edwin Spillman led the team in tackles. The kid has been here for 2 weeks. He was in that middle range, had to wrap up some things in high school, kind of came in 2 weeks into spring camp, just starting to get his feet wet. You get excited when you hear them talk about Edwin Spillman and how they have to dial him down. They got to calm him down because he's so aggressive. He's so physical. He's so violent. But the thing is, again, this is college football in 2024, right? Go back a year ago. Why did Elijah Herring start 11 games? Well, he started 11 games because Keenan Peely got hurt. What happens if Keenan Peely gets hurt this year? It's a physical, violent game. The offensive line, we talk about the depth there, the running back room, right? That's why I continue to preach and say I think we need to add a running back on this roster because it's a physical, violent game. It's the SEC. What happens, God forbid, Dylan Sampson goes down? Are we really going to lean on Deshaun Bishop and Khalifa Keith to carry us through September? I don't know, man. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Elijah Herring has made it official. Going to be entering the transfer portal. Who's next? We kind of talked about it earlier this afternoon. A lot of people talking about that wide receiver room loaded with talent. I expect more of those guys to come. Now, as Josh Heupel, he's always playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. So were the meetings today? Did those meetings take place today? And we are going to see more names start to enter the portal late on a Monday night. I usually don't make videos this late, but I wanted to get on here to talk about this because the first casualty has taken place. Elijah Herring jumping into the portal. You guys jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I want you to talk about who's next. Are you concerned? Are you concerned about depth? I think it's college football in 2024. It's something we're going to have to learn to deal with. But as always, do me a favor and smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, you can go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got this brand new Knoxville, Tennessee shirt, the chosen one with the 8-ball emoji, Colt of 8. All those favorites are at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link is also in the description below. Shout out to all the members of the channel, man. If you don't have a Power T beside your name, if you like the videos, the content, the live streams, the community, whatever it is you like about this channel, think about hitting that join button. You can become a member of the family for just $1 a month. We would greatly appreciate that support. Kind of a short video, but I just wanted to get it out as quickly as possible. Sitting upstairs watching a little TV, and then I saw the news come through that Elijah Herring is entering the transfer portal. So let's jump into the comment section and let's talk about it. That's where we can kind of deep dive and get into what you guys think, because this is your channel. But that's going to do it. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.